Did you like that or what? Did you like that or what? This is the reason why I've done this application. It's for you to see what it will take to code a complete function from end to end to do what a simple private node API call will help us in doing. When you develop a Web3 application, right? So when you develop a Web3 application, there's a lot of moving pieces. There's a lot. I think it's a blessing, the fact that we have private API services that will help us achieve our adapt goals faster. Because imagine yourself coding over 50 lines of code to retrieve pictures and text, okay? I know it's a challenge, it's amazing, it's great, but that is not an efficient use of your time. This is why we have private node services, because they help us facilitate that. And hey, they're cutting the effort in half, because you need to focus in the actual roadmap of the application that you're developing. You're not just simply playing art and displaying text. You're actually deploying an application, or you have a use case for this particular collection. So with that said, you need to focus in developing that solution, right? You cannot just spend time and trying to figure out. Great, it's an amazing way to learn, no doubt about it, and to learn how can we go crazy in performing functions in React or Next.js, because this entire tool started with getting the token supply. It started with that. It started by calling the NFT collection smart contract, getting the amount of tokens minted on the smart contract, and from there, I started calling the owner of the token. I from there called the token URI of the NFT. When I say the token, I mean the NFT. I called the token URI, I called the owner, grabbed the wallet, stored the metadata URI path, and that URI path had to be converted from IPFS, the CID path was converted into HTTPS, so then I can do an Axios get, retrieve the JSON metadata, parse it out, grab the values, the name, description, the image, and the token ID, and save that into a var so that we can call that in a set state function, and we can finally deploy this in a map in HTML. This is an amazing way to learn Web3 and blockchain, and I will strongly recommend for you to go and take a challenge like this. Gets you a lot of exposure, like a lot of things moving, a lot of moving pieces, and you have to touch basically everything. And on top of that, you got to be creative, because you need to understand what goes first. I need to first get the token IDs, right? After I get the token IDs, I need to now call the owner of that token ID. I now got the wallet. After I got the owner, I also have to call the token URI. I got to grab the token URI by sending the request to the smart contract using the token ID that I previously got. And again, also to clarify, this application only works if your NFT collection, or the NFT collection that you're trying to query, is using the CID path in IPFS, meaning that this path, IPFS : //. If it's using a private gateway, okay, any path that does not start with IPFS : //, this application is not going to work. It's only expecting that value, and it's going to flip it into an HTTPS header and then make the call using Axios to get the JSON contents and parse it out and retrieve the value. So if any NFT collection that you're trying to pull the information from using this toolset, it's not going to work if it's not using the native IPFS path. So just FYI, okay? It has to show this particular path. Same with the picture. So once we get into the metadata file, we find the image value, and it also has to start with IPFS, // okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do now, I am going to jump into the tutorial on how to make this work, how to enable it on your React site. We are going to deploy a simple NextJS. It works very similar to React. And we are using, in my case, I'm using NextUI, which is a new web styling library. You can use any other, so you just have to figure out the HTML code, to build the card, to build the image source, HTML path, and so forth. But you can follow the one that I have. It works, but FYI, I'm using a NextUI. Okay, so we have to install NextUI. And I'm going to provide all the commands that you need to run at the beginning of this deployment. What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to jump into the session, and this is a tutorial on how to get it up and running in your application. In the upcoming videos, because we are working with fully fledged NFT marketplace. In that series, I am going to discuss a very low level, very methodical, every single function or every single step in the ASIC function that allows this to happen. Let's go ahead, let's jump and let's enable this and let's play around with some NFT pooling. Alrighty, let me show you a quick tutorial on how to make this work with your application. In this demonstration, what I'm actually doing is deploying a test server, a new NextJS app, and testing it out. However, if you already have your web front end built and you just want to add this particular section onto it, I am going to show you how to do it. Very simple. Literally, it's part of the whole tutorial. 5 minutes. It's only going to take 5 minutes, okay? First thing we got to do, open the GitHub repo in your web browser. So once we get to the GitHub repo, we want to leave this open. Next thing I'm going to do, I am going to create a new Next app. You can use React or you can use Next.js, whichever flavor you like. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to type npx create Next app, and let's call this my NFT site, right? Okay, so I'm going to install this new web front end. So I'm deploying this in Next.js. Now I'm going to navigate into the directory. Okay, awesome. Next thing, go onto the repo, copy this whole command right here, copy, and make sure that you're inside your project folder, right click and paste. We install all the dependencies, we wait for that to happen, and we will add the NFTPuller onto the project folder. We're done. Awesome. Now, go ahead and download this entire repo. Okay, once you get the folder, proceed to extract. Now we open the folder and we copy the NFTPuller. Now navigate to your project folder. In my case, I'm using Next.js, so you want to go under pages and you want to paste the folder. Okay, next thing that we have to do, we have to open our editor and we have to work with this particular folder. So we got the folder open, so make sure that you open my NFT site, or in this case, whichever your project folder is, and then you want to navigate to pages, and then you navigate into the NFTPuller folder, okay? The first thing we have to do, we just follow the procedure here. If I am using Next.js, I will be adding the NFTPuller folder inside the pages folder. If I am using React, you got to add the folder inside the source folder in React.js, okay? So let's go ahead and add, I already did this, by the way, I already did this. So now the next thing that I got to do, update the settings, JS section with your info. So in this case, we need your NFT smart contract. If this contract is active in the Ethereum blockchain, you just type ETH, and let's show you the options. So let me go under the settings file. This is the settings file. This is all operational parameters. You don't need to modify. This is like generic key for the wallet to make the call. This wallet has nothing to do with the smart contract or anything. This is just to make the calls into the blockchain, okay? And those are all your RPC addresses. So if you see an RPC address that is not working for you, you can go ahead and find other RPCs and just update the value, okay? But so far up to today with this video, they are all working, okay? We are going to the settings section. The only thing that we need to work with is the NFT contract address, the mainnet that you are selecting to query this NFT contract. So if this contract was deployed in Ethereum, you type Ethereum. And I got the options right here. You got ETH, BSC, Polygon. Those are your options for mainnets. If you are still in deployment mode, you select either one of those values to test in the testnet that you have deployed the smart contract, okay? So in this case, I'm just gonna play with the mainnet because I'm just looking for test smart contracts, okay? So this value, it's how many NFTs are you going to display on the site? And you will say, no, I want to display all of them. Here's the thing. If you display 1,000 NFTs, this server or this web app will probably crash. The reason why is it has to render every image. Remember, we're not doing any private API. We're literally pulling the information straight from the blockchain, and we are rendering every single picture natively onto the app. So it has to call every single NFT and pull the information for each one. So it's going to take you a while. I don't see that to be a feasible approach. You have to know what you want to do with this particular tool. If you want to only display the NFTs for a particular wallet that is connected to the app, then you have to add the parameters on your code to only filter based on the source or wallet address that is connected to your dApp, okay? So make sure that you have that in mind. But for demonstration purposes, I set it up with a whatever that you can actually modify and say, well, I want to see 10 NFTs or 20 NFTs or whatever the case may be, okay? All right, awesome. So let me find a test contract. I'm just gonna go to Etherscan and I'm gonna go tokens, go to the ERC721 top tokens, and let's see, I think let me see this one, lovebirds, copy the address, okay, go back. Now I'm gonna paste the address right here, okay? I just pasted the smart contract, it's on Ethereum. I'm just gonna display 10. Let me Control S, I'm gonna save it. Now, next step, let's go back to our instructions. I just updated this. Now you have to import the tool or the app onto your page. So let's say you are running your page using the index.js file, then you are going to import this app onto that page, and this is the full command. So let me go ahead and turn on the server and we'll go from there. So npm run dev. Okay, so the server has started. Let me open it. 10, 10, 20, 32. My case. Okay, and this is the default page when you first deploy Next.js. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back into my GitHub. Let's copy this section, okay? And then once we copy and import that section into the index.js, we have to get the NFT Puller in HTML. I'm going to show you how to import this. It's very simple. Just copy this and find a place, a position in your HTML code in which you want this to be rendered. Okay, so in this case, if I want NFTs to be shown after get started by editing, this particular section, I just need to find the placeholder below it in HTML and paste this particular liner and save it. That's all I have to do, okay? So what I'm gonna do, I am going to copy this whole thing, copy, go back, and now I'm gonna open my index.js, which in this case is the default site. Okay, you can see it right here. This is exactly the front page, okay? So first of all, I wanna import the liner. So this is how I import the app into my index.js. And then finally, all we have to do is find where we want to display the NFT. So if we go back, what I'm gonna do, I want to display this below powered by Vercel, okay? Go back to my HTML code and find that section. And you can see right here, powered by, and then the image file. So I can literally just place it below this footer right here. Add the NFT Puller right there, / that's it. The moment I save, it should start working. Save, Control S. Let's wait for the render. And we should start seeing something right below here. And there we go. It's going to load the NFTs and there we go. We're up and running. So it's gonna take, after you make the changes, it's gonna take like 5 seconds. I set up a timer that is going to take like 5 seconds to load, to find the information and load it out. However, depends on how many NFTs do you have, right? And how fast is your server able to establish a connection and start pulling the URLs and start loading the images, right? But there you go, okay? Alrighty, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you do me a favor. I would really appreciate it. Hit the like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to, This is not the only thing that I'm going to be releasing. Trust me, I got so much good stuff in the bag, okay? But I need your support. Only you who is making this possible, okay? Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.